What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent, and 78704, where we are right now, Central South Austin, is one of the most desirable. It's one of my clients' favorite, and if you know anybody from Austin, they'll tell you too. There's a reason why this zip code 704, as everybody calls it here, is so desirable. There are so many great neighborhoods in this area. There are so many great restaurants. I mean, this is the true embodiment of everything that Austin has been and is becoming. I mean, truly, best restaurants in Austin, most of them are here. Live music, local culture, you've got everything from high-end shopping down to your local food trucks slinging tacos out of a dirt lot, which will absolutely blow your mind. So in this video, if you're looking into South Austin, if you're curious what the neighborhood is like, maybe you're looking to relocate here, we're gonna talk about what are the different neighborhoods here like. You know, Travis Heights just around the corner, Bolden, we're gonna go south to Galindo, for example. Show you around a little bit what's going on there. We'll talk about some schools. Of course, we'll talk about some real estate, and I've got a really cool house to show you around in. But just give you a real sense, if you're interested in 704, what it's actually like to move here and why it's such a favorite among my clients, among Austinites, and we're gonna dive into all of it. So let's jump in the car. We're gonna take you for a little tour. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Starting off here, we just got some coffee at Joe's, the perfect way to start your morning here in South Austin, and we're doing a quick little drive, although this is completely walkable for this area, over to Travis Heights. Now we're gonna start quote-unquote high, definitely pun intended, in Travis Heights, because this is definitely one of the most sought-after neighborhoods in all of 704. It's got the highest price per square foot average of any of the 704 neighborhoods, and for really, really good reasons, as I'm gonna show you as we start to drive through. It's very neighborhood-like. There's very little in the way of traffic on most of the streets. It's also very hilly. You'll get a lot of views of downtown Austin from some of the homes there. And you're gonna see a lot of different home styles. You know, it's one of the oldest neighborhoods around Austin. There's a lot of Tudor style homes in there. There's a lot of more modern new construction homes. You'll see also a lot of A, B units. You'll see a lot of garage apartment type spots. So there's different things for different price ranges, but they've really tried to maintain the character of Travis Heights by restoring some of those older homes, updating them, making them a little bit more modern, but keeping the charm, of course, of the original, and you'll see that as we start to drive through. Headed off of South Congress now into Travis Heights. Now this is super walkable. I mean, we are just off of South Congress here to all of the shopping, restaurants, you know, gyms like Equinox, for example, are walking distance from Travis Heights. This neighborhood is so convenient and so sought after for so many really good reasons. Now, this is generally held as one of the more expensive neighborhoods in South Austin, 704, but for really good reason, because of the access I was just talking about. But also through this neighborhood, you're gonna find a lot of charm. This is a very quiet neighborhood. There's very little in the way of traffic because almost no major roads crisscross through here like they do in some neighborhoods like Zilker. Depending on what street you're on, Zilker can be a little bit heavier traffic, but you'll notice too, as we drive past some of these homes in here, there's a good range of style. You know, this is one of the oldest neighborhoods in all of Austin, which gives itself to so many different styles. You're gonna see Tudor homes in here. You're gonna see a lot of homes built in the early 1900s that have been renovated and remodeled over time, but really try to capture the original charm of these homes. You'll also see some newer construction projects. You'll see some tear downs. There are some lots out here because of the undulation in the hills that have downtown views, especially from the second and third stories. And then you've got some beautiful restoration projects like that one right there. Just, you know, stunning, trying to keep the charm of everything that makes Austin really, really special. This is absolutely one of the most sought after neighborhoods for really, really good reason. And, you know, depending on what you need in terms of housing, there's a lot of good options through here as well. You've got everything from A, B units, you know, where you can get a more modern build, like condo type, but you still own your yard, you still have interest in having a yard here, or you can get some single families. You can get some older homes that are a little bit smaller that have been remodeled, all the way to some really large new construction projects, you know, homes that are going to be 3, 4, 5,000 square feet on large corner lots. There's a good range in here for every need here in Travis Heights. Now, as we're driving into Bolden Creek, as we kind of work our way west from Travis Heights, want to talk about this neighborhood because this actually tends to be one of the really good value communities if you're looking for a neighborhood here in 704. Can't really explain why, to be honest, because once we're on the west side of South 1st Street, so many opportunities open up. Now, this area tends to be, it's a little less hilly, there's a little less chance of a view here, probably why the price is a little bit lower, but you're going to find a lot more newer constructions out here versus some older homes that have been redone over time. So if you're looking for a newer home, this is definitely a good neighborhood to look in for it. We're going to turn here on Bolden Avenue right now, actually. And again, you're just going to see these beautiful mature trees. Like, you could see why this is, you know, landscape wise, one of the most desirable communities in all of the Austin area. Now, tell you about some specifics here to Bolden Creek. Some of the Austin favorites, like Bolden Creek Cafe, for example, a fully vegetarian restaurant, which is amazing, as well as Elizabeth Street Cafe, all of that walking distance from here. Known for its Asian fare. Delicious. One of the most highly rated restaurants in all of Austin. All of this walking distance. All right, y'all, we are looking right now at Zilker Park, turning into the neighborhood of Zilker, which is by far and away, I think, my favorite of all the neighborhoods here in 704. Now, if you are not familiar with Zilker Park, it is one of the largest city parks run by the city of Austin in the entire area, and it is so cool. We bring my whole family, we bring our dog down here, we go run. It's an off-leash dog park in certain sections. The Zilker Zephyr, the old train that they ran since like the 70s or 80s, they just restored it and brought that back after a good time. You've got a botanical gardens down here. You've got a whole bunch of sports fields. Like, it's awesome. My wife and I, when we were dating, we don't do this anymore, used to go run Town Lake, the trail that makes a loop all the way down and around. Like, there's so many really special things about Zilker Park itself. And then living here, living walking distance from it is just phenomenal. You've also got walking distance access to restaurants like Juliet. You've got access to one of the original P. Terry's. You've got access to Chewy's. You know, down on the water, like some of the real Austin classics, the things that have been here forever, all right here in this neighborhood. And as you can see just past me as we drive through, some of the most beautiful homes in all of Austin are here. Now, you're going to notice, as similar to Travis Heights, you've got a lot of undulation, a lot of nice hills and stuff in here. You've got a lot of amazing custom builds. You've got some really cool hills, which give you views of downtown in a lot of cases. A lot of really well-known and well-respected architects come out here to build homes out in this area. So you're going to get a good variety. Again, this is one of the more expensive areas at 704, but absolutely worth it. Just from a nature perspective, you've got very easy access out 2222 towards Westlake. You've got easy access out Mopac if you need to get downtown, or shoot up Lamar to get to Whole Foods, for example. Like, all of your daily things, all very, very close to here. And again, if you are looking for a larger home, this is definitely a really good spot for you. Now, one of the things I really wanted to do on this tour was show off Barton Hills. I feel like this is a very overlooked neighborhood for folks who are looking for South Austin, but don't want to go quite out to Westlake, but really appreciate how Westlake feels a little bit quieter, a little bit more tucked away, a little bit more like a neighborhood than a little bit more urban. Because you're going to find not only topography, but home styles very similar. If you are looking for a larger home, this is a great spot for you. You'll see as we drive through here, so many of the projects going on out here are, you know, old teardowns that they're rebuilding into larger residences, and, you know, just so fantastic. It's a really, really cool spot to be able to get that. And again, you know, if you've got a family, if you're looking for somewhere a little bit more tucked away, a little bit more quiet, This is an absolute hidden gem that I feel like not enough people talk about. Now, in a very similar way to Zilker, you are going to notice a whole lot of more unique architecture out this way. Again, a lot of the big architecture firms come out here and are hired to design these houses. Not everything looks the same. You've got a lot of unique things. You've got, of course, older homes that have been restored and keep a lot of the same charm. And like I mentioned, you are going to get a lot more, tear downs and new construction over top. So looking for a larger home, but want something quiet, want something a little bit more tucked back, this is a really fantastic place for it. But let's keep moving on. I want to take you to South Lamar, and then we're going to hit Galindo, the last neighborhood on our tour. And I've got some really cool stuff to show you down there. So let's keep moving. Now, as we're kind of weaving our way here to the southwest side of 78704, we are passing by Broken Spoke Saloon. If you're familiar with Austin at all, you have to know that. I mean, it's an absolute favorite. It's one of the most iconic, famous Austin spots in all of the world, right here in the neighborhood that we often refer to as South Lamar, which of course is the name for the street that we're driving on right now. Now, this of course is home to a lot more Austin favorites, and as we work our way a little bit farther south, you're not very far from all the things that we were just at, but you're getting a lot better value down here, at least for your home, for what you're paying for, with a lot more condo options. And this is a newer part of town in general, and of course a little bit farther away, but you're gonna see so many Austin favorites down here, and this is such an amazing value compared to some of the more northern neighborhoods. So if you're trying to keep that price range under $1 million, this can be a fantastic spot for it, and you still have really great access, a lot of walkability, a lot of bikeability. This is Austin. We got bike lanes going everywhere. There's trails all throughout the town. This is a really hidden gem neighborhood. Love South Lamar, and again, it's for all those reasons. It's combining the value with famous spots like Broken Spoke, like Loro, for example, really highly rated restaurant that just opened here in Austin. Bakeries, local ones like Easy Tiger right here, and of course all your daily things, your shopping, your Central Market, your Target, your In-N-Out Burger, all of those things right here, right off of South Lamar. Now, here in the Galindo neighborhood, like I mentioned, you are going to find everything very similar in terms of walkability to, for example, Summer Moon Coffee, right here off of South First. You've got a whole bunch of different restaurants, coffee shops. There are bars down here and live music, and you're really close drive to places like Spokesman Coffee, my wife's favorite coffee shop in all of Austin. Really, really fun spot. And again, all of this at a significantly lower price point than some of our more northern neighbors. Now, you're also right off of 290, the South Freeway that runs along here, 78704. And with that, it's honestly a really easy place to commute from. Probably easier than most of the other neighborhoods that we visited. So if you do commute often, and it's not just to downtown Austin, this can be a really, really great spot for you. They've also got a really cool community center down here, tennis club, like just a lot of different things that make day-to-day life really nice. And again, walkable. Super, super cool. So we're actually going to pull into one of my listings down here right now. I want to show you just an example, and of course it's always cool to show off a neat looking house. But I want to show you an example of kind of the vibe of South Austin, blending that urban. We're still tucked back in a little bit of a neighborhood though. We're not on any of the major streets, but show you what that actually lives like. So let's pull over. We're pulling up to it right now, and I'll show you around a little bit. All right, now we are parked up here, and I want to show you inside my listing down here in 704 because I think this is a really good embodiment of everything that makes Austin really cool. First, you'll notice, character building, like having the blue exterior, and when I show you inside, you'll see just how well finished everything is. Now, coming inside, this is a perfect example of everything that South Austin has to offer. Down here, you're going to notice so much character. The designer that built out this house, the furniture and such in it, is based here in South Austin, and you're going to be able to tell as you walk through here. So much character, so much charm, but also real attention to details.
solid hardwood floors. You're gonna notice things like all the custom woodwork that was done on the stairs here. And then coming into the kitchen, just everything really well polished, really well done, but keeping a lot of that charm, keeping a lot of that trendiness that makes South Austin special. Now, if you're looking into 78704 and you want an agent to help guide you through the process, help be a neighborhood expert. Maybe you're comparing South Austin to neighborhoods like Brentwood or Allendale up north. Maybe you're looking at Mueller in East Austin. If you're looking for an agent to work for you to help find the right place for you and your family, someone that knows the areas really well and can be that guide for you, I'd love to be that resource for you. Reach out directly. My contact info is down below and on the screen right now. Thanks for watching. I hope this tour was incredibly helpful for you, and I'll see y'all next time.